From Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, this is TBC News. Our top stories. Samia vows swift actions to transform the Lake Zone. Experts urge urgent artificial intelligence policy formulation.
Our emphasis first was to congratulate the university in seeing the need and the importance of increasing and deepening our understanding of artificial intelligence.
Good evening, I'm Kanki Mwaigomole. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. President Samia says the government will continue to create a conducive environment for the development of local industries, urging citizens, especially Mayu District residents in Simiyu region, to continue to produce cotton in large quantity together with other crops to meet raw materials demands. Speaking in Simiyu region, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensure access to reliable and clean water from Lake Victoria for the Mayu District's residents. Here's a report by Pascal Michael, read by Faithangaga.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan, who is still in the Simiyu region, earlier today addressed hundreds of Mayu residents, saying one of the challenges for the people in the district is the access to reliable clean water, and insisting water from Lake Victoria would be a solution.
I acknowledge that Mayu District is still facing water challenges, and the major problem is that our water is salty. We have brought in water trucks, we have drilled boreholes, but in many areas, the water has turned out to be salty. However, I want to bring you good news. The project to supply water from Lake Victoria is coming to put an end to this problem.
Before launching the cotton processing factory of Biosustain Tanzania Limited in the village of Mwamishali, President Samia received a report on the construction of the factory and the strategy of the Ministry of Agriculture to transform cotton crops.
Our system is based on a contract farming, which means we invest directly in farmers through agriculture extension officers. We provide them with the motorbikes, fuel, training, equipment, and inputs in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Cotton Board.
But this year, Your Excellency, you gave me permission to provide cotton farmers with a special fertilizer which we will start distributing in October for use on cotton crops. This fertilizer will be given for farmers free of charge, so cotton farmers will receive seeds for free, subsidies, tractors, services, and fertilizer specifically for cotton farming.
I have been informed that investment in this factory has created 375 permanent jobs and 808 temporary jobs. This is not a small number. The government continues its efforts to attract industries to Mayu District and Simiyu region at large. Currently, Mayu has 3 large factories and 148 small-scale factories and 168 micro-enterprises. I want to ensure all industrial investors, including the owners of the factory I inaugurated, that the government is committed to continuing to provide a conducive environment for the growth of the local industries.
Furthermore, President Samia Suluhu Hassan assures the residents of the Simiyu region of reliable access to electricity. Faithangaga, TBC News.
Researchers and academics in the country urge the government to speed up the completion of the artificial intelligence policy so as to ensure it benefits the nation in all sectors and to mitigate the sector's negative effects. Here is Ismail Bugdha with more details.
Scholars and students from several universities met at the United African University in Tanzania. artificial intelligence gain momentum in Tanzania, currently it has a legal framework that provides only partial protection for issues related to artificial intelligence through various laws. Therefore, scholars are calling on the government to speed up a comprehensive policy on AI to avoid the misuse of the technology.
No, our emphasis first was to congratulate the university in seeing the need and the importance of increasing and deepening our understanding of artificial intelligence. And then to discuss and come up with ways of harnessing this critical skill, this critical knowledge to our educational systems, to increasing our productive systems in agriculture, in the industry, in livestock, and so on and so forth, so that we make great use of this increasing and expanding facility for the quick development of our continent.
So the advantages are so many, but then we have to be very careful in the way we use it. So we need to invest heavily on the frameworks. The talk of policies, the strategies, the guidelines. So we need to invest heavily on that so that we can be able now to use responsibly AI, but also ethical AI as well.
Some professionals attending the meeting explain how the technology increased their work's efficiency.
So I take interior design, and so far there are a lot of AI programmings about interior design which help people design their own homes by a touch of a hand, right? So AI itself has helped me or given me an idea to start my own AI programming on interior design.
Professor from United African University of Tanzania, Thierry Noedui, emphasizes the need for local AI experts to feed right information into existing AI systems so as to provide accurate information regarding Tanzania.
When we were listening at this series of lectures that were given by the professor, he told us that the data, the AI models that we have now are biased. They are very biased because they have been developed by US people, they have been developed by Europeans, and they have used their data. We were not part of it, so we didn't provide any data. Now we have to start to see how we can have our own data, because an AI model is like a child. You train it, giving him data.
I have a background in medicine. It was really intriguing to see that they've actually used the concept of the human brain to come up with artificial intelligence. So I've learned that, and what we are going to cover this week is how we can use artificial intelligence to solve different problems, and I look forward to that.
In Tanzania, several institutions have begun to have a comprehensive AI policy, such as the Policy Framework for Artificial Intelligence in the health sector of 2022, the National Digital Education Guideline for AI in Education of 2025, as in the case of Rwanda, Kenya and South Africa, having a clear and common national strategies that directly targets the regulation of artificial intelligence. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Ismail Bugdha, TBC.
The Director General of the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, Dr. Ayubu Rioba, says there's a great need for African countries to foster close cooperation in various sectors, including in the field of defense and security, in order to speed up desired prosperity and development across the entire African continent. Speaking during a visit by the National Institute for Security Studies of Nigeria, in which some of the institute's officials visited TBC, Dr. Rioba also elaborated that TBC has been closely collaborating with various institutions from Nigeria, including the Voice of Nigeria.
We were indeed delighted to welcome the delegation from Nigeria. It's not the first time we have had delegation from Nigeria visiting TBC. So we are really honored to receive another delegation from Nigeria. And it's important for us to meet and share experiences, particularly about common challenges that face Africans and how Africans can address them as Africans not as individual countries.
The Director of Studies at the National Institute for Security Studies of Nigeria, Hyginus Ngele, says the institute offers training not only to leaders from Nigeria, but also from across the African continent in order to address security challenges facing Africa. He adds that the visit to TBC is one of the steps towards strengthening the institute's cooperation with various institutions across Africa.
In Africa, issues, challenges, and prospects for peace and development. These non-state actors, particularly those adversarial ones, have been infringing not just in governance, but in our education sector, in our Greek sector. You heard what the Director General said. We have agro-terrorism, and agro-terrorism is what he helped on. They have a way of tweaking our farm products in such a manner that you will not have seeds or seedlings or instruments that you will use in the years to come. And that's why they're introducing genetically modified seedlings for Africans, so that will be the only implements we'll have for our farms, so that we will not have tomorrow for Africa. And that's why we are trying to churn out policies that will assist the African continent to say no when it is necessary to say no, to bring out African solutions for African problems, because that's the only thing that can work for Africa.
We want to learn from African countries, want to learn from world countries, and even within Nigeria. So it was very strategic for us to visit the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, because the media has a very strategic role in shaping the minds of the young ones. And you know that this age is a digital age, and violent non-state actors are reaching out to them. They are having very innovative ways to reach out to their minds and turn their minds around, recruit them for dangerous, for terrible things, turn them against their country, against their government. But the media is a strong tool to reshape their minds, to reorientate them, and direct them properly, that they should be united for their country. They should always uphold patriotism.
In other news, the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Stephen Nindi, says Tanzania continues to excel in agriculture-related innovations, including the Agriculture Sector Development Program, the Agriculture Master Plan 2050 and Vision 2030, all aiming to increase productivity, add value to crops, and create more jobs, especially for the youth and women. He made the remarks in Dar es Salaam during the Agri-Tech for Tanzania consultation workshop, emphasizing that technology application to agriculture is the future. Carol Maleo has more details.
Agri-Tech for Tanzania consultation workshop brings together key players to co-create an inclusive and innovative agriculture ecosystem in the country. The focus is on 5 priority value chains: coffee, cashew, horticulture, pulses, and maize.
Come together to design something so big, which is called the Agri-Tech for Tanzania Innovation Challenge. The initiative will help us find and improve, support homegrown, science-based solutions that can improve the lives of Tanzania farmers, especially smallholders. And our vision into this is that at the Ministry of Agriculture, our job is to make sure agriculture is modern, inclusive, resilient, and participatory. Agriculture should no longer be seen as the last resort, but a sector full of opportunities, innovation, and the prosperity for our people and our lands.
On the other hand, the ambassador of Italy to Tanzania, Giuseppe Coppola, assures continued support to Tanzania's agricultural sector to further strengthening the sector, while the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Stephen Nindi, reaffirms the government's commitment to further strengthening the sector.
Because the ultimate objective is to allow Tanzanian companies working in the sector to modernize and to strengthen themselves, and to, of course, gain access to market in Italy and also in Europe in general, but also abroad in general, not only in Europe, of course.
Tanzania government, and especially through my Ministry of Agriculture, we are working so hard to achieve the agricultural prosperity, but at the same time maintaining our agricultural ecosystems, but also collaborating with the different stakeholders from within the South Hemisphere, but also with our colleagues from the Northern Hemisphere.
Furthermore, the organizer of the workshop, Seth Mkisi, explains about the Agritech Innovation Challenge, while other agricultural stakeholders explain their involvement in Tanzania's agricultural sector's development.
So last year we signed the MOU with CJR to support agri-tech and climate tech startups in Tanzania. And together we have co-designed a project called Agritech for Tanzania Innovation Challenge. So this project will be implemented here in Tanzania for about 16 months. So today we are here. It is a launching event. So we have invited different stakeholders as well to share about the project, but also to ask them to pledge if they would want to be implementing partners in the near future.
So we are engaging with the Tanzania agri-tech ecosystem. This is a very important moment for us to understand what are the dynamics, what is the interest for agricultural technology.
Today, agricultural stakeholders have met in Dar es Salaam for the Agritech for Tanzania consultation workshop, a high-level meeting that aims at bringing agricultural stakeholders so as to co-design the vision and the partnership model for the Agritech for Tanzania Innovation Challenge, an initiative that aims at strengthening Tanzania's agri-tech environment by integrating science-based solutions that aligns with the national vision. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
The Director General of the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority of Tanzania, PPRA, Dennis Simba, says the government's commitment to digitally transform public procurement systems aims to ensure transparency, efficiency, and accountability. Speaking in Arusha at the 9th Annual Public Procurement Forum 2025, Simba said Tanzania has registered 38,164 tender entities into the transaction portal, among them 36,377 being local, 1,776 foreign, insisting that the forum focuses on digital public procurement for sustainable development.
New Public Procurement Act, we call it number 10 of 2023, and within that act, where it has stressed much on the issue of the public procurement sustainability, which has been addressed at large, which was not in the previous act, as well as the objectives of the previous forum led to the establishment of the new public procurement electronic system of Tanzania. In short, it's called NEST, whereby it has advanced transparency, accountability, and effectiveness in the management of the public procurement at large.
Furthermore, he elaborates that by investing in digital procurement systems, the country ensures public resources are used more effectively while creating space for local companies and special groups such as the youth, women, and persons with disabilities.
Since the NEST system became operational from 2023 up to June 2025, a total of 578 special groups have been registered, and they began using the NEST system to apply for tenders, which has been issued by the government institutions, all procuring entities from the public sector. And I can report as to date, a total of 501 awards, tender awards, with a value of 16.1 billion Tanzania shillings have been granted to these special groups, and some are already on site, some have already finished, and some have already even paid. So this is quite a significant improvement from the time when we were using the previous system. And as I said, this new system came as a result of the resolution of the previous government forum, which was in 2021.
The 5-day forum aims to promote the use of modern technology in public procurement processes while also supporting the growth of indigenous businesses through increased access to public tenders. Meanwhile, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, Professor Riziki Shamdoe, says the presence of universal guidelines for livestock vaccination in Africa will bring about productive reforms in the livestock sector, especially in the export of livestock products. Emmanuel Samuel reports.
Dr. Riziki made the remarks in Dar es Salaam while opening the Pan-African workshop on the African Union harmonized the guidelines that brings together the directors of veterinary vaccines manufacturing facilities to discuss the guideline for the provision of livestock vaccinations in Africa to combat livestock diseases.
There are manufacturers of the vaccines. So imagine you make these two strong people. Colleagues sit down and harmonize the guideline so that a person from Tanzania who is the DVS, a person from Tanzania who is the DVS, and the person from Kenya who is the DVS, they use the same guideline. And this is important, and that's why I'm really happy to see you guys sitting together, and I'm sure you will all come out with a very useful guideline that will guide us all. Though some of us were not able to sign anything, but those ones who are capacitated to sign, please, you'll do that, and our countries will prosper.
On the other hand, the Director General of AU, PANVAC, Dr. Charles Bonjo, thanks the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries in the country for acknowledging the importance of organizing the meeting and solving the challenges facing the livestock sector in Africa.
Thanks to the government of United Republic of Tanzania to hosting us here to have this meeting and to harmonize the standard for vaccines registration, which is very important. Is the same vaccines. Harmonizing a standard will help us to put good quality vaccine for all over Africa to control animal disease on the continent.
I've been saying that our aim is to make sure that we produce all the vaccines which are required in our country. And these are the people who are going to help us, because among these people are the giants in vaccine production, and we are coming up. So we believe that we will grow together with them, because the purpose of our presence here is to make sure that we provide Africa with the quality vaccines.
We are so keen to support public-private partnership in the vaccine production area, and also support not only the vaccine production, but also the vaccine delivery and logistics.
The meeting is being attended by more than 100 directors, including producers of veterinary vaccines from 25 countries in Africa. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Emmanuel Samuel, TBC News.
The country representative for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Zakwaneen Hussein Anjun, says the United Nations plays a vital role in protecting refugees' children by ensuring their access to safety, education, healthcare, and psychosocial support. Speaking to my colleague Caroline Maleo, he insists that the UNHCR works closely with the governments and humanitarian partners to create protective environments where displaced children are safeguarded from violence, exploitation, and neglect. He further emphasizes that the responsibilities of supporting refugees does not lie with the host country alone, but it needs collective efforts.
The refugees are the collective responsibility of not only the host country, but also the governments, the donors, and also the private sector to take the burden. So when refugees move and they are received in a community, like here in Tanzania, they are received in Kigoma community, so the community contribute a lot. So now it is also the responsibility of the international community, the donors, the private sectors, and also the governments to come in to share some of the burden. The burden sharing can be by providing additional resources to the countries so that the government can fulfill their international mandate to take care of the refugees in a proper and adequate way. The government alone At the community alone, where the refugees are coming in the beginning, they cannot take the whole burden. There should be a burden sharing.
We clearly understand that today is the Day of an African Child. So can you tell us the work that you're doing to protect the children refugees in Tanzania?
Yeah, UNHCR is doing a number of child protection activities in the camps. Some of the activities are also we are doing for the host community. For example, UNHCR in the camps are doing child tracing, family unification, and also best interest determination of the children. And some of the activities which are related to this the special children, they're not only for the refugees, but they are also for the host community. The host community, as I mentioned, they are also having some of the services which are provided to the refugee, they are also having the access, and access is free of cost. Some of the information campaigns on the health and also on hygiene, these also include both the refugee children and also the host community children. The refugee children are getting education. They are also getting the services related to the child-friendly spaces. They are also involved into a number of vocational trainings, and the host community also are included in those.
The private sector can play a pivotal role in propelling the country's ambitious, clean and sustainable energy by partnering with the government and invest in renewables and low-carbon energy across East Africa. Speaking to TBC News, Gertrude Mpangile, Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs at Total Energies Tanzania, stressed the importance of public-private partnerships in aligning with the government's efforts, insisting on the private sector to position its goals in line with the national energy policy.
So through this station, we also support the clean energy strategy. As you remember, in 2024 July, we launched our new business line on clean energy, which is the cooking gas for the homes. And we are proud that since we launched this business line, we have been progressing well. And now we have reached a total of 5 regions in a short period.
As Tanzania accelerates its clean energy agenda, public-private partnerships are proving vital in lighting the way towards a more sustainable and inclusive future. In case you missed any of our news stories, remember you can always go to our YouTube channel at TBC Online and watch anytime, anywhere. Before concluding the local news tonight, let's have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I'm Mayu District. Good night.